P, you would make some dry runs. If it's a robot, you put it down on your course and see how it does with just your starting value of P. And then you would adjust that up and adjust that down and see how the system worked. And once you got that working fairly well as you could, then I would suggest you start with D. You'd skip over I. I is tricky, and a lot of times you don't need it unless you're doing a speed controller. I find I works really well in speed controllers. I haven't found a use for it really outside of speed controllers. But the thing you have to worry about, and D is usually fractional of P. So a good starting value, I would say, for D would be to take about 1/10 of the value you're currently using for P and start there and then work your way up very, very slowly and see how that affects things. What you also have to remember is these two influence each other. This is basically acting exactly like a spring, and this is acting exactly like a damper. Oh, and the sign for this is usually the opposite of the sign for this. This guy's usually acting against this guy. Because the spring usually needs damping. If you think of a spring, like let's say we're back to our actuator of an arm. The arm is moving towards a goal, and when we get to the goal, if we could do is instead of using a motor, we could attach a spring to it, and we would want to make it so that the spring is relaxed when we're at zero error. But as we move away, let's say the spring, we attach the spring here. So as we're moving this way, we're compressing the spring. Now the spring's relaxed, and this way we're stretching the spring. So we're getting that proportional control. The more we move away, the more we're stretching or compressing the spring. But you can imagine that if we pulled and let go, it would just kind of wobble and take quite a while to settle out. And it's this D term that is acting like a dampener that keeps it from just wobbling and wobbling and wobbling. It makes it so that it stops. You get a nice smooth response. And this is actually very similar to the math that a mechanical engineer would look at to decide how big of a spring and how big of a dampener you would put in your system. Let's see, let's go to, okay, now tuning I, let's say you are doing a speed controller or you just want to play around with I. Start very, very small. I would say start with about a 20th, maybe even a 30th of the value that you're using for P to put in your I tune. And even that might be too big. So be very careful about that, and also be very careful that you don't overdrive your motors once I gets too big. Be very, be ready to catch your robot and turn it off or stop your robot or whatever so you don't burn up your motors.
Sometimes it helps to limit I.
Yes.
Itself, just put a hard limit or something to keep I within a certain small range.
Yes.
That prevents a lot of problems.
Right. Because what can happen in I is you get what's called wind-up.
Yeah.
In a very short, remember, we've got lots and lots of loops in here. So this could end up, even though you've got this constrained to 100, if you don't constrain I could get into the thousands or even millions. If you're only constraining your output, you're like, oh, I'm just going to constrain the output, so I'll never see a value bigger or smaller than this for the motor. But I could still be in the thousands. So you can end up hanging up out there at 100, waiting for I to finally come back down. And by then you burn your motor up, or your robot's wandered way off the track or whatever. And so you can do like what Dale is suggesting, is you can put a limit on how big I can grow, but you could also, sometimes what people will do is they'll put a line of code in where they will unwind I. They will see, oh, we've come back down to 0. So we don't need all this I that we've accumulated. So whenever they come back down to 0, they set I to 0.
Kind of like resetting it.
Yeah, so you have an unwinder. And that brings up an idea that you can really think of PID as a very vanilla equation, and it's up to you to make it fit your robot. I mean, that's what these adjusters are for. But you can also adjust the rest of it because you know what each one is doing and you know what you're trying to achieve. If you want to put hard limits on things, if you want to unwind I when it gets to a certain point, like another thing you could do is you could look at D. You know, you could say, yeah, I know my system's going to get stuck and I need I to get it unstuck. So the moment, so if I see that I've got this long period of time where D is 0, D is going to be 0 whenever we're stuck. And then suddenly we get a big jump in D. So whenever we go from D being 0 to D being large, then I'm unstuck. So I could set I to 0 right then and there. I don't even have to wait to get to 0 error. I could get rid of all this wound up I the moment I move off of being stuck. So, yes?
Now, without doing actual reset, how does I ever unwind? Because all you're ever doing to it is adding
Because
to
you're
it.
almost guaranteed to overshoot. And then all the area down here is going to unwind this.
Okay.
You have to have an equal amount of error, and it might unwind fairly quickly if it suddenly has large error. Because now all of this area is equal to about this area. So you could actually have a small, but then you've got all this area. So it means you way overshot.
Right.
But if a quick, big overshot is okay in your system, then this could be okay for you.
Gotcha.
All right. Everybody with me so far? Wow, that's amazing.
Very good teacher.
Thank you.
Yeah, that we're all just so lost.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the reason this is called I, maybe is that we're taking it, when you take the area under a curve, it's called taking the integral. That's a math thing. In math number 1.
He used that 4-letter word.
That evil word.
And taking the slope of a line is called taking the derivative, which is why that's called the D. So that's from calculus. So it'd be nice. I think it'd be nice if this was called the accumulator and this was called error velocity, maybe. I'm not sure. But D, some people think it stands for damping because it is actually the damping one, but that's derivative. We've kind of touched a little bit on headroom, but let me talk about headroom. Let's say your motor controller is expecting values between 100 and negative 100. So that means as your speed approaches this value, you're going to run out of headroom. In other words, if our speed is 100, then I can still subtract PID from 100, but I can't add any more of my PID to 100. So, for example, if our PID wants to have a bias of 10 down here, but my speed is 100, I can't add this. I can't have 110 go out to my motor. So the faster your speed goes here, the less headroom you've got left to offset your PID. So let's say you're making your robot go faster and faster and faster, and you're like, wow, this is great. I'm getting near 100. I'm getting near the top end of my robot, and I'm still able to go around the track. And then suddenly, you make your robot go a little bit faster, you increase this a little bit, and then suddenly it just falls apart. And that's because your PID no longer has that extra room on top of what it can send to the motor controller. So you do have to watch that you don't run out of headroom.
More reason for your limits.
Yeah. And it's sort of like your stereo amplifier. You know, you never want to turn. You want to have as much power there so you don't get anywhere near turning all the way up. So you have all that extra headroom for all the peaks and the highs and all that sort of thing. Constraining, I've already kind of talked about. You definitely want to constrain the values coming out of this because especially your I term can grow very big. Let's see. That headroom issue can be a debugging issue. you don't realize you're running out of headroom, and that's causing your robot to suddenly go off course or do something you don't expect it to do. So it's really good to see telemetry when you're working with PID.
Oh, yeah.
You want to see the values that are getting sent to your motors. You want to see each individual PID value. You want to see the error coming into the system. So typically what you'll have is you'll have like an SD card that you can stream all this onto the SD card and then read it later, or you could have like a Bluetooth or an XB module that's streaming all these values to a PC. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
And that way, when your robot suddenly does something you're not quite expecting, you can see, well, was it because noise came into my sensor and my D suddenly jumped? Or did I run out of headroom? I suddenly ran out of headroom because suddenly PID grew really big, and the difference between the speed I set and my maximum value was smaller than the PID value. It can get really tricky trying to debug what's going wrong when you're tuning your PID. So being able to see all these values can be very helpful. And then your sampling rate. You want to be able to see a nice smooth curve. Your equation wants to see a nice smooth curve from the data. So if you're not collecting enough points, your curve will start to look kind of triangular or square. And that's a real problem, especially for the D term. The D term will see this jagged change in error as a big change in speed. And so you'll get spikes in your D if you're not taking enough data to get a nice smooth curve. The smoother your curve, the more accurate your D term will be.
So if you really don't have a very good sampling rate, you may not even want to use a D term.
Exactly. Your D term will your robot will start getting really jittery, and so you'd be better off without a D term. Another thing you can do is add smoothing and averaging. You could start averaging your data. If you can't, for example, if your sensor just can't collect enough data per second, you could do some averaging and try and get a smoother curve out of it.
Do you have it working on the robot right now?
Oh yeah, I can. Before I give a demo.
If I can make a suggestion,
Sure.
might want to kind of give him an example of, overshooting, undershooting, and how you would play the P and I and D based on what you see on that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Look at some of the response curves.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's look at some response curves. Okay. And what he's saying is, let's say we're just starting out. We calculated a decent value for K, and we've got 0 here and 0 here. And so what we would want to do is we would want to excite the system. We would want to pull the robot off of the line and then see how well it comes back to the line. So we're going to pull it off the line and then let go. And what we expect to see is something like that. And the reason we're getting a lot of offshoot, the reason it's not just coming here and stopping is because it's that spring without any dampening. But there's still going to be some friction here, and the friction is what's still allowing it to settle out. And this allows us to see how much dampening we're getting from the friction in the system. Because we might actually be able to get away with little to no D at all if we've got enough friction to do the dampening. And what we want out of the system, we might actually want it to do that in some cases. every time you set up a PID loop, your parameters are going to be different. For example, I wrote a PID routine for this to follow the edge of the table. So I had to do it a little differently than following a line because I absolutely didn't want it to fall off of the table as it was following the edge. So I had to make sure that my response to that exact case was something like that. So I had a lot of D and very little P to make sure that I slowly came to 0 and never crossed 0, because crossing 0 meant my robot fell off the table. So that's why there's really no right or wrong way to do PID. It's all dependent on your situation. You have to play with it and tune it and make it your own. But let's talk a little bit more about. But that shows you the two extremes. The first one I showed was very little D, and then the second one was lots of D. But what you typically want is somewhere in between. You want to pull it up to an excitation point. You want to let go, and you want it to do something like that.
Apparently there's some way to auto-tune these things, at least in some cases.
Right.
One example, I've got an industrial temperature controller that I acquired and hooked up to an oven. And it's got an auto-tune mode for its PID, and basically it seems all it does is apply a step response where it just turns the thing on full blast, and then finally gets the goal, it turns it off, and then it goes back and calculates the PID, and then it works. So I haven't tried to figure out how it does it, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The Arduino actually has an auto-tuning library. Don't have time to go into that today. Maybe we can do that some other time. But Arduino has a library for PID, and they also have a library for auto-tuning the library. The problem with that is then you've got to go into their code if you want to make it your own. And you still need to understand what each of these terms are, even if you're using somebody else's library. Because, for example, if you want it to do something like follow the edge of a table, it's going to give you this curve when you auto-tune it. And this means it's going to fall off the table every time. So that's not going to work. So that's response curves. We'll see a little bit of response curves here on the robot.
I have a question. I know most control loops are just PID, a lot of times PD or just P. I don't know in the robots that anyone has made here, has you ever found it useful to have, like, take a second derivative or?
I have tried that. You mean like, because D is velocity, so that means you could actually calculate acceleration.
Right.
I've
changed out based on the current acceleration or jerk or something.
I've tried that, and typically the acceleration gets really jerky unless you're taking a lot of data and your data is very, very, very smooth. And basically, this guy likes to see smooth data. Acceleration likes to see really smooth data. So the fact that this is an iterative process and not a nice smooth curve, you're not dealing with a mathematical function, you're dealing with a function that you're drawing with data points. That using acceleration, I find, is problematic. And that I was better off just doing a better job of tuning my P and my D than I was trying to get the acceleration to work. But that was just one case. I was doing a balancing robot. So for other types of things, acceleration might be great. But that was what I learned in it, is that my data just wasn't smooth enough. Okay, let's look at an example. I'm going to do an example of just P, and then P with D, and we'll look a little bit at I. Okay. Okay, we got lots of battery voltage. Okay. All right, so this is just P. Now first it's going to have to calibrate it.
You must have a lot of trust in it. To have it on a table.
It's ready to spring after it.
Yeah, I am. Okay, so it is now on 0, and so we have no error in the system. What I'm going to do, like I said here, I'm going to give it a response, and it's going to grab back. You see how it's depending on the friction to do the dampening, and that's why you're getting that wiggling. And I can actually add friction to the system by pushing down on it. You can see it dampens it out faster when I add more friction. That's just P. But now if we add some dampening,
Are you talking about D?
D, we're going to add D, our derivative term. Let's see now. Get you back over here. See, now there's no wiggle. The D term dampens out all that wiggling around.
And it also slows down as you get closer to
Yeah,
the
if you look
the
real
line.
carefully, you can see that the robot is slowing down as it approaches the line, and it's not even overshooting the line. I've given it just as much dampening as it has spring. So it's really over-damping the situation in order to really show you, so you can really see the D, so that it's actually doing like that curve where it approaches the line and doesn't cross. It's almost like a little animal, but it's, you know, and it seems like it's intelligent, but it's really dumb because, you know, if I do this, it's like, where's the line? I don't know where the line is. You know, but as soon as I show it the line, then it's happy again. It's like, oh, I'm back on the line. But like if it goes over here, it goes, oh, there's a line over here. You know, so that's the danger is if you allow it to run, if you allow it to get too far away from the line, it's going to see the edge as the line. So you have to worry about things like that. Now, let's just do the last demonstration, which is pure I. For safety.
You're not saying you took P out though?
Yeah, I took it. It's just going to be I.
Really?
Yeah, just so we can see just how crazy I can get. Okay. I'm going to have to recalibrate. I'm ready to grab it. It's sitting on 0, so I is not accumulating. But as soon as I move it away, accumulated a little I, and the I brought it back. And you notice it overcompensated. But then it built up more I, and it came back. And it built up a little more I, and then it built up a little more I. And now, if I pull it just a little bit, this time I'm going to pull it a little away from the line, and I'm going to hold it there. You're going to see that it's going to just keep accumulating I, it's going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. See, the wheels are already starting to turn slowly, now they're turning faster, We're not getting a proportional response. If this were just the P term, we'd be getting a steady speed. But we're not. It keeps speeding up, and it's speeding up. If I just stay here, we're going to hit maximum speed.
It's bouncing in the back
And
now.
we're getting totally wound up here. If I let go of it, it's not just going to come back to the line and stop.
It's gonna flow.
It's going to spin. Because now it has to unwind all that I. It's unwinding and unwinding. And the problem is now it's wound it in the other way. So now it's got to unwind it the other way. And now it's got to unwind
It's a cool little
it that
pendulum
way.
thing.
And it's got to unwind it that way. And it's got to unwind it that way. And it's got to unwind it that way. And it'll take a long time for it to finally get all that out.
Starting to resemble perpetual motion.
Yeah.
No, kids and sugar.
Kids and sugar.
Yeah, inside code you can have perpetual motion.
Yes.
This is perpetual mode in its mind. that's all I really have today. If there are any questions, any questions?
We only have a few minutes for questions.
Did I answer all your questions?
Well, that's good. Well, I was gonna ask about your XP control.
What would you like to know about the XP?
What'd you write it in?
What did I write? Well, the XP, they're really nice in that they're a black box as far as your microcontroller is concerned.
So you wrote it in API or AT?
I use their little configuration program.
CTX.
The CTX, yeah. I use the CTX. I found that to be real easy. It's a nice little interface.
So it's just AT and the CTU?
Yeah. But as far as the Arduino goes, you don't have to write any extra code to use an XP. The XP is, as far as your Arduino, I've got an Arduino here and I've got an Arduino here, and as far as they know, they are directly wired from serial port to serial port. This is sending and receiving serial to this XP, and this is sending and receiving serial to this XP, and the XP units are handling all the heavy lifting to turn that serial into whatever protocol they're using to talk to each other and hand that back off to the Arduino.
You're operating point to point as not as mesh.
Right. But even as a mesh, the XPs would be handling all that. And you'd still be doing serial to serial. If you've never used a Bluetooth module, Bluetooth modules are the same way. The Bluetooth module is just serial in and serial out as far as the XPs, as far as the Arduino is concerned. And the little Bluetooth module handles all the heavy lifting of talking to the other XP unit, which could be another unit on another controller or connected to a computer, allowing you to do telemetry with the computer. I actually have one of these. I think this XP is hooked up to a soft serial port, while this one is to a hard serial. And I find it works fine with a soft serial. So if you're running out of serial ports, you can fire up a soft serial port using the library. It works just fine. I actually use an XP to go between with these, and then I do all my telemetry with a Bluetooth module that's buried deep down inside there. Yeah, and there's my 32 line sensors, low friction ball there. And for people that are new to the club, this was my entry last year as my polyathlon robot. So it did the line following, it did the beacon killer. This is my beacon sensor here. This is the guts of a Wii remote, a little Wii remote you use when you play a Wii. This is a CCD camera. If you didn't realize that, what's inside that Wii remote is a little camera, and it sees the bar. The Wii bar has two LEDs in it, and it sees the bar, and for that, it can give you a very, very accurate angle, both X and Y, and it sends it out serial. So this is a serial line to my microcontroller giving me an XY coordinate to my beacon. And this here is what I capture the pipes in to push the pipes off the table for bulldozer. And I've got an analog sensor here and an analog sensor here that allowed me to do a PID following the edge here. And that's an interesting thing I learned about following an edge. Is very different from following a line. With a line, you need multiple sensors. With edge, you only need one.